The city never truly slept. Even at night, lights stayed on. Screens flashed. Cars moved like quiet insects. Rain fell softly, washing dust from the streets, but never the sadness from the people. Eli walked alone. He had just finished a long shift at a factory near the lower districts. His clothes smelled of metal and oil. His back hurt. His feet felt heavy. He kept his hands in his jacket pockets, trying to stay warm as cold wind moved between the tall buildings. Eli was not important. He knew that. He had no power, no money, no future plans. He only worked, slept, and worked again. In a city full of noise, he was invisible. Then he heard running. Fast footsteps. Not normal footsteps. They were uneven, rushed, almost desperate. Eli stopped walking. Across the street, a woman ran toward him. Her coat was long and dark. Her hair was silver, shining under the streetlights. She looked human, but something felt wrong. Her eyes were too calm for someone running in fear. Behind her, 2 men chased her. "Stop," one of them shouted. The woman stumbled. A man grabbed her bag and pulled hard. The strap broke. The bag fell into the man's hands. The woman lost balance and fell to the ground. The men ran away laughing, disappearing into the dark alley. Eli stood frozen. The woman slowly looked up at him. Their eyes met. Her face was pale, but her eyes were sharp. Not scared, not angry, just focused. "That bag," she said softly. Her voice was strange. Clear, controlled, almost cold. "That bag must be returned." Eli looked toward the alley. He did not think. He did not plan. His body moved before his mind did. He ran. The rain became louder. His breath became heavy. The alley was narrow and dark. Trash covered the ground. Water splashed under his feet. The thief was fast, but Eli was desperate. "Stop," Eli shouted. The man looked back, surprised. He tripped on a broken crate. The bag flew from his hand and hit the ground. Eli reached it first. The moment his fingers touched the bag, everything changed. The bag was warm, too warm. A soft light passed through the material, like something inside was waking up. Eli pulled his hand back, shocked. The thief stared at the bag, fear suddenly on his face. "What is that thing?" he whispered. The light faded. The bag became normal again. Eli picked it up. The thief ran away without saying another word. Eli stood alone in the alley, holding the bag, his heart racing. He felt like the air itself was watching him. Slowly, he walked back. The woman was waiting. She stood now, her coat dry despite the rain. That was strange. Very strange. "You should not have touched it," she said. Eli swallowed. "I'm sorry. I just wanted to help." She looked at him carefully. Too carefully. "Did it react to you?" she asked. I think so," Eli replied. Her fingers tightened for a moment. For the first time, her calm broke. "That is not possible," she said quietly. She reached for the bag. When her hand touched it, nothing happened. No light, no warmth. Her eyes widened slightly. She looked back at Eli. "Who are you?" she asked. "Just a worker," Eli said. "No one special." She did not answer. Instead, she opened the bag. Inside was nothing Eli could understand. A smooth black surface. Symbols that moved slowly, like they were alive. A small stone that glowed softly, breathing like a living heart. Eli felt a pressure in his chest just by looking at it. "Do not come closer," she said. Eli stepped back. The symbols stopped moving. The stone dimmed. The woman closed the bag quickly. "That bag," she said, "is not meant for humans." Eli laughed nervously. "Then maybe you shouldn't drop it in human streets." Her eyes met his again. "This was not an accident," she said. The rain stopped. The city sounds faded, like the world was holding its breath. "You were observed," she continued. "Your choice was recorded." Eli frowned. "Choice? I just ran after a thief." "No," she said. "You chose to help without reward, without fear." She paused. "That is rare." Eli did not like the way she said that. "Listen," he said. "You got your bag back. That's good. I need to go home." He turned to leave. The woman stepped in front of him. "If you walk away now," she said, "you may never understand what you touched." Eli hesitated. "And if I stay?" he asked. Her voice became serious. "Then your fate," she said slowly, "may no longer belong only to you." The bag pulsed once, soft, bright, like a heartbeat. And somewhere far beyond the city, something ancient took notice. Eli did not sleep that night. The city outside his small room was quiet, but his mind was loud. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw the bag, the light, the way it reacted only to him. He sat on the edge of his bed, staring at the dark corner of the room. The bag was there. He did not remember bringing it inside. That scared him. Slowly, he stood up. His heart beat faster with every step. The bag looked normal. Simple. Black. No wires. No screens. But Eli knew it was not normal. He reached out, then stopped. The woman's voice echoed in his mind. "That bag is not meant for humans." Eli pulled his hand back. Then the bag moved. Not physically. Not clearly. But the air around it shifted, like heat rising from the ground. A soft sound filled the room. Not noise. Not words. More like a deep hum, old and patient. The bag opened by itself. Eli froze. Inside, the symbols returned. They floated above the opening, glowing slowly. The stone inside pulsed like a living heart. Eli felt pressure in his head. Memories surfaced without warning. Him as a child, sharing food with another hungry boy. Him years later, ignoring a man asking for help. Moments of kindness. Moments of fear. Moments of regret. "Stop," Eli whispered. The pressure grew. The symbols changed. A voice spoke, not out loud. Inside him. "Why did you run?" Eli's hands trembled. "I don't know." False answer. The pressure increased. His knees weakened. I didn't think," Eli said. "Someone needed help. That's all." The pressure stopped. The symbols glowed brighter. Second question. The room felt smaller. "If danger followed, would you still help?" Eli swallowed. "Yes," he said. "I think so." The stone pulsed faster. Third question. This one felt heavier. "Would you help if no one ever knew?" Eli closed his eyes. "Yes," he said quietly. The bag went silent. Then the symbols disappeared. The bag closed. Eli collapsed on the floor, breathing hard. Sweat covered his face. His chest burned like he had run for miles. "What was that?" he whispered. A slow clap filled the room. Eli looked up. The woman stood near the door. "How did you get in?" Eli shouted, jumping to his feet. "That is not important," she replied. Her eyes were sharp, focused, but something else was there now. Concern. "You activated the test," she said. "Test." Eli snapped. "That thing was inside my head." "Yes," she said. "That is how it works." She stepped close to the bag, but did not touch it. "That device is older than your planet," she continued. "It measures choice, not strength. Intention, not power." Eli laughed nervously. "Then why did it choose me?" "That," she said, "is the problem." She finally looked worried. "My people sent that device to judge humanity," she said, "not to test one man." Eli's smile faded. "Judge?" he asked. "Yes," she said, "to decide if humans are a threat or a future ally." Eli stared at her. "So what happens now?" She looked at the bag. "It reacted only to you," she said, "which means the device sees you as a representative." Eli shook his head. "That's insane. I'm nobody." The bag pulsed softly. The woman did not deny it. "You passed the first level," she said. "Most fail it." "Fail?" Eli asked. "What happens to them?" Her silence was answer enough. The bag opened again. New symbols appeared. Different, sharper, more intense. The room darkened. The walls felt far away. "This test does not stop," she said. "It adapts." "To what?" Eli asked. "To humanity," she replied. "Through you." Eli felt fear then. Real fear. "So if I fail," he said slowly, "humanity fails?" "Yes," she answered. Eli laughed once. Short and broken. That's not fair. The woman's voice softened. Judgment never is. Suddenly, the bag projected an image. A city, not Earth. Tall towers. Strange skies. Ships in the air. Then the image changed. The city burned. Screams filled the room. Eli covered his ears. Make it stop. The image froze. Possible future, the voice inside the bag said. Eli dropped to his knees. What do you want from me? He whispered. The bag closed. The woman looked down at him. We want to know, she said, if humans deserve tomorrow. Outside, far beyond Earth, unseen eyes turned toward the planet. The test had begun. Eli stood in silence. The room felt different now. He could not explain it, but the air felt heavier, like something unseen had entered. The bag lay on the floor between him and the woman, quiet but alive. You said this device judges humanity, Eli said slowly. Then tell me who you really are. The woman did not answer at once. She walked toward the window and looked down at the city. Lights moved below like small stars. People walked, laughed, argued, lived, without knowing anything was about to change. I was not supposed to get close to you, she said. Eli frowned. You broke into my room. You let that thing test me. That sounds pretty close. She turned toward him. My name does not matter, she said. Not here. That's not an answer, Eli replied. She took a breath. I was sent as an observer, she said. Nothing more. But, Eli asked, but the device reacted to you, she continued. That changed everything. Eli crossed his arms. You keep saying that. Why? The woman looked at the bag. That device, she said, is designed to find truth, not words, not strength, truth. And it found something in me? Eli asked. Yes, she replied. Something rare. Eli laughed once. You really don't know humans, do you? She stepped closer. I know more about humans than you think, she said. I know your history, your wars, your lies, your mercy. Her eyes locked onto his. I know what you are capable of. The bag hummed softly. Eli felt uneasy. Then why test us now? Because humanity is close, she said. Close to what? Eli asked. She hesitated. Close to being noticed, she finally said. Eli's stomach tightened. By who? She answered without emotion. By those who decide which worlds continue and which do not. Eli took a step back. You mean your people? She nodded. The council does not interfere easily, she said. But when a species reaches a certain point, observation becomes judgment. And we reached it, Eli said. Yes. The bag opened slightly. Symbols appeared, slow and careful. Eli looked away. So what am I in all this? The woman met his gaze. You are the variable. Great, Eli muttered. Humanity survives or dies because of factory worker. That is why it matters, she said. The device did not choose a leader. It chose someone unseen. Eli's voice hardened. And you? What role do you play? The woman closed her eyes for a moment. Then she spoke. I am not just an observer. Eli waited. I am not just a carrier of the device. His heart beat faster. I am bound to its final result. Eli stared at her. Bound how? She opened her eyes. I am one of the judges. The words fell heavy. No, Eli said immediately. You're lying. I cannot lie to the device, she replied. Or to myself. Eli shook his head. You look human. That is intentional, she said. Judgment requires understanding. So you came here pretending, Eli said, watching us like an experiment. Yes. Anger rose in his chest. Then why help me? Why warn me? Her voice softened. Because I have seen this before, she said, and I did not like the ending. The bag pulsed. Your species reminds me of mine, she continued, before we lost our compassion. Eli swallowed. What happened to your people? She looked away. We chose efficiency over empathy, she said. Order over kindness. And Eli asked quietly. We survived, she said, but we lost something important. The room fell silent. Then the bag spoke again inside Eli's mind. Phase 3 approaching. The woman stiffened. That is not possible yet, she said. Eli looked at her sharply. What is Phase 3? She took a slow breath. It is a phase where the judge must decide, she said. Eli's heart sank. Decide what? Whether humanity deserves more time, she answered. The lights flickered. Eli clenched his fists. And your decision depends on me. Yes, she said. That's insane, Eli snapped. I didn't ask for this. No one ever does, she replied. The bag glowed brighter than before. Outside, the city continued its normal rhythm. Inside, the truth was clear. The woman was not just watching humanity. She was deciding its future. And Eli was no longer just a man. He was evidence. The next morning felt normal. That was the most frightening part. The sun rose over the city. People went to work. Cars filled the roads. Screens showed news, ads, and smiling faces. No one screamed. No alarms rang. No ships filled the sky. Humanity did not know it was on trial. Eli stood near the window, watching the street below. After everything he had learned, the normal life outside felt unreal. They don't know, he said quietly. The woman stood behind him. They are not meant to. Eli turned. Then how is this a test? She looked at the bag resting on the floor. The device observes truth, she said. And truth appears when people believe no one is watching. The bag pulsed once. Soft. Patient. What happens now? Eli asked. The woman answered carefully. Now the device expands its observation. Eli frowned. How? She raised her hand slightly. The bag opened. A thin light spread across the room and then disappeared to the walls, the buildings, the streets, into the city. Eli felt it pass through him. Did you just? He began. Yes, she said. It is active. Outside, sirens suddenly wailed. Eli's heart jumped. That's not a coincidence. No, she replied. It never is. The bag projected images into the air. A train stopped between stations. A hospital lost power for a few minutes. A bridge closed due to a warning signal. Not disasters. Tests. What is it doing? Eli asked. It creates pressure, she said. Not to destroy, but to reveal. The images changed. A man shouted at a train worker. A nurse stayed calm and helped patients in the dark. Drivers argued, then slowly helped each other turn back. Eli watched in silence. They don't know they're being judged, he said. That is why their choices matter, she replied. The bag hummed. Inside Eli's mind, the familiar voice returned. Observation phase active. Eli flinched. It's still connected to me. Yes, the woman said. You remain the anchor. Why? Eli asked. Because the device measures humanity through human perspective, she said. Through empathy. Eli felt sick. So if people act badly, it is recorded, she said, but not counted alone. The images changed again. A small shop flooded after a pipe burst. The owner panicked. Strangers entered. One helped. Another stole. Eli clenched his fists. It's not fair, he said. People are scared. So were you, the woman replied, when you ran after the thief. Eli said nothing. The bag glowed brighter. Moral weight increasing. The woman stiffened. That's fast, she whispered. What does that mean? Eli asked. It means the device is detecting imbalance, she said. Too much fear. Too much selfishness. The images showed riots in another city. Then, in the same city, volunteers handing out food. Light and dark. Side by side. Eli stepped forward. Can I stop it? She shook her head. No. Can I help? He asked. She looked at him sharply. You already are. Eli stared at her. By doing what? By reacting, she said. By understanding. The bag shifted. Another image appeared. A bus accident. Passengers injured. People watching. Seconds passed. Then someone stepped forward. Then another. Hands reached out. Eli felt his chest tighten. They choose, he whispered. Yes, she said. Again and again. The bag pulsed. Subject emotional resonance high. The woman looked at Eli. The device is reading you too. Good, Eli said suddenly. She raised an eyebrow. Good. I won't pretend humans are perfect, Eli said. We're not. The images showed anger, fear, greed. But we're not hopeless either, he continued. The bag paused. Every species says that, the woman replied. Eli turned to her. But how many mean it when no one is listening? Silence filled the room. Outside, the city moved on. Some people failed. Some people passed. Most were simply human. The bag's light slowly dimmed. Observation phase concluding. The woman exhaled softly. Is that good? Eli asked. It means the device has enough data, she said. And Eli pressed. And now, she said, comes comparison. The bag closed. The room felt suddenly empty. Eli's voice was quiet. So what happens if we're not good enough? The woman met his eyes. Then I must decide, she said. Eli looked out the window again. People laughed below. A child chased a drone. An old man fed birds. Humanity still unaware. Still living. Eli whispered, they deserve a chance. The bag pulsed once. Slow. Uncertain. The bag stayed closed for a long time. Eli expected more lights, more voices, more strange images. But the room remained quiet. The silence felt heavier than the tests. The woman stood still, as if she was listening to something far away. Eli could not hear it, but he could see it in her face. Her eyes were focused. Her body was tense. They are speaking to you, Eli said. She did not deny it. Yes. Eli waited. What are they saying? The woman looked at the bag again. They are asking for my report. Report? Eli asked. Like a score? She gave a small nod. Not a score. A verdict. Eli felt cold. So it is already time. The woman's voice was quiet. The device collected enough data. It is moving faster than expected. Eli took a step toward her. Why is it moving faster? Her eyes met his. Because of you, she said. Eli looked away, angry and afraid at the same time. I did not ask for this. No one does, she replied. The bag pulsed once, as if it agreed. Then the air changed. It was like the room became a smaller world. The lights dimmed, but not because of electricity. It was different, more controlled, more deliberate. The sound of the city outside faded until there was nothing. Eli turned in a slow circle. What is happening? The woman's face tightened. They are opening the channel. A thin line of light appeared above the bag. It grew wider and wider, like a door opening in the air. Symbols formed a circle, and inside that circle, a shape appeared. Not a person. Many. Figures made of shadow and light, sitting in a high arc like a court. Their faces were unclear. Their bodies looked tall and wrong, like the human brain could not fully understand them. Eli's breath caught. He wanted to step back, but his legs did not move. The woman stepped forward. Her voice became formal. Counsel. The figures did not speak aloud. The sound entered Eli's mind, heavy and cold. Observer unit. Identify. Eli looked at the woman. Observer unit? That was what they called her. She lifted her chin. Designation, Vara. So she had a name. Eli repeated it silently in his mind. Vara. The voice continued. Status of judgment device? Vara answered clearly. Active. Phase completed. Data secured. Human subject? Vara glanced at Eli. Confirmed. Anchor subject present. The figures shifted slightly, like waves moving. Eli felt like an insect under glass. One voice entered his head again, sharper than the others. Human. State your function. Eli swallowed hard. My function? Vara spoke quickly. He is not trained. He does not understand your structure. He is the anchor, the voice replied. He must be evaluated. Eli's chest tightened. Look, I'm not trying to fight you. I'm not a leader. I'm not. Silence, the voice said. Eli's mouth closed by itself. His eyes widened in shock. Vara turned to the council, her hands tightening. Control is unnecessary. He cooperates. Control is efficient, the voice replied. Efficiency maintains order. Eli's face turned pale. He could not move his lips, but his thoughts were loud. Vara looked back at Eli, and for a second her expression softened, as if she was apologizing. Then she faced the council again. Present findings, the voices said. Vara took a slow breath. Human behavior shows contradiction. Fear and kindness coexist. Greed and sacrifice coexist. Under pressure, many choose selfishness. Under pressure, many also choose mercy. The figure stayed still. Vara continued. The device recorded acts of theft, violence, and cruelty. It also recorded rescue, patience, and courage. The council did not react. Eli felt a wave of anger rise inside him. He hated how calm they were, how they treated human lives like numbers. He forced himself to breathe. Then the council spoke again. Probability of threat? Vara's eyes narrowed slightly. Moderate. Eli's heart dropped. Probability of growth toward stability? Vara hesitated. Just a moment. Hi, she said firmly. The figures shifted again. Another voice entered Eli's mind, different, older, more tired. Your species expands quickly. Your weapons evolve quickly. Your emotions are unstable. Eli's mouth unlocked suddenly. He spoke before he could stop himself. Maybe, Eli said, but we also learn quickly. The room went still. Vara's eyes widened, warning him without words. Eli swallowed. You watch us only when we fail. Did you watch when we try? When we help strangers? When we carry someone we don't know out of fire? A cold voice answered. Some acts of kindness do not erase the risk. Eli clenched his fists. We're not asking for free praise. We're asking for a chance. Vara stepped toward him, low voice. Eli, careful. Eli looked at her. You said you are a judge. If that's true, then judge fairly. The council's presence felt heavier. The judge is already known, the voice said. Her duty is to decide. Eli turned sharply. Her? You mean Vara? The bag pulsed once. The council spoke, clear and final. Designation Vara is not an observer unit only. Designation Vara is a sitting judge of the high verdict. Eli stared. So it was true. Vara's face stayed calm, but her eyes flickered, like something inside her hurt. Eli's voice lowered. Then why did you come yourself? Vara answered softly, not to the council, almost to herself. Because I wanted to understand, she said. Not from distance, not from reports. The council did not like that. Emotion is interference. A voice said, You are compromised. Vara's jaw tightened. I am capable. Your response time has slowed. Your caution has increased. Your sympathy is measurable. Vara stood straighter. Sympathy is not weakness. It is bias, the voice replied. Eli looked between them, realizing something terrible. They were not just judging humans. They were judging Vara too. The bag opened. A new symbol appeared, sharp like a blade. Final phase pending, the bag's voice said. Vara's eyes widened. No. Eli stepped forward. What is final phase? Vara's voice shook for the first time. It is the phase where the judge must choose. The council spoke like stone. Judge Vara will deliver verdict within one cycle. One cycle? Eli asked, You mean one day? Vara did not answer. The figures began to fade, like mist pulled back into a void. But one last message hit Eli's mind, cold and clear. If humanity is approved, supervision will begin. If humanity is denied, cleansing will follow. The channel closed. Sound returned to the room. The city noise came back like a wave. Cars. Distant voices. Life. Eli stood frozen. Cleansing, he whispered. Vara's face was pale now. It means extinction, she said. Eli stared at the bag. His hands trembled. And you have one day to decide. Vara nodded slowly. Eli's voice became rough. So I save your bag, and maybe I start the end of the world. Vara looked at him, and her eyes showed something rare. Regret. You did what you believed was right, she said. That is why this is painful. The bag pulsed again, steady, patient, unstoppable. Eli took a slow breath. Then we don't have one day, he said. Vara looked at him. What do you mean? Eli's eyes hardened. We have one chance, he replied. And I'm not going to waste it. Vara stared at him for a long moment. Then she spoke very quietly. Then I will watch your final choice, Eli. Outside, humanity kept living. Inside, the judge and the human anchor stood beside the bag that would decide everything. And the last trial was about to begin. The clock started ticking the moment the channel closed. Vara stood still, staring at the bag as if it might speak again. Eli could feel the weight of time pressing down on them. One cycle. One day. That was all humanity had. Outside, the city continued its normal rhythm. People laughed. People argued. People hurried to places that suddenly felt meaningless. They don't know, Eli said quietly. Vara shook her head. They cannot know. If they knew, their choices would change. Eli clenched his jaw. So the test continues. Yes, Vara said. But now it is focus. Focus how? Eli asked. Vara looked at the bag. On you. The bag pulsed softly. Anchor subject confirmed. The voice inside Eli's mind said. He closed his eyes. I'm tired of being called that. Vara's voice softened. I know. Eli opened his eyes. Then let me be human. Not an anchor. Not a symbol. Vara studied him for a moment. Then she nodded. Very well. She stepped back. The bag opened. Light spread across the room. But this time it did not project images. Instead, it reached outward, through walls, through streets, through people. Eli felt again. Not pain. Connection. Suddenly he saw things, not clearly, not in pictures, but in feelings. Fear in a man about to lose his job. Anger in a woman shouting at a stranger. Kindness in a child sharing food. Exhaustion in a nurse who refused to give up. Eli staggered. I can feel them. Vara caught him before he fell. That is the final phase, she said. Empathy without distance. Eli gasped. This is too much. You asked to be human. Vara replied gently. This is humanity. The bag spoke again. Final trial initiated. Outside, events began to unfold faster. A building fire broke out in the lower district. A storm flooded nearby streets. A transport system failed during rush hour. Not disasters meant to destroy. Moments meant to test. Eli felt fear spike across the city. They're scared, he said. Yes, Vara replied. Now watch what they do with that fear. The bag shifted. Eli felt pulled, not physically, but mentally, toward the fire. Smoke, heat, panic. People ran. Some pushed past others. Some froze. Then someone went back inside. Eli's breath caught. A man ran into the burning building. Then another. They carried a child out together, coughing, shaking, alive. Eli's eyes burned. They didn't have to do that. No, Vara said. But they chose to. The bag recorded everything. Then Eli felt another pull. A flooded street. Cars stuck. People shouting. A woman stood on top of a car, holding a baby, terrified. Strangers formed a line, holding hands, pulling people across the water. Fear, risk, choice. Again and again. Eli dropped to his knees. This isn't fair, he said. You're testing them when they're already suffering. Vara knelt beside him. Suffering reveals truth, she said softly. It always has. The bag pulsed faster. Conflict ratio high. Compassion ratio rising. Vara's eyes widened. They are balancing. Eli felt something else now. Anger. Hatred. A riot forming in another city. People breaking windows. People stealing. People hurting each other. Eli shouted, Stop showing me. I cannot, Vara said. This is part of it. Eli clenched his fists. We're not perfect. No species is, Vara replied. Eli stood up, shaking. Then why judge us like gods? He demanded. Vara looked at him, pain clear on her face. Because we once wished someone had judged us sooner. The bag's light intensified. Anchor subject stress critical. Eli laughed bitterly. So even I'm being tested. Yes, Vara said. One last time. Eli felt the pull again, but this time it was different. Personal. He saw himself. Years ago, walking past someone who needed help, choosing fear over kindness. He staggered. I failed too, he whispered. Vara placed a hand on his shoulder. So did many. That does not erase who you became. The bag spoke again, slower now. Anchor's subject may intervene. Eli froze. Intervene how? Vara looked at the bag sharply. Explain. The symbols shifted. Anchor's subject may amplify choice. Eli's heart raced. You mean I can help them choose? Yes, Vara said softly. By example. Eli looked at her. What does that cost? Vara did not answer immediately. Then she said, You? Eli swallowed. My life. Your safety, Vara replied. Your future. Your anonymity. Eli looked at the city outside. People still unaware. Still human. He remembered the first night. The stolen bag. The choice he made without thinking. He took a deep breath. Do it, he said. Vara's eyes widened. Eli, I'm not special, he said. But maybe that's the point. The bag opened fully. Light wrapped around Eli, not burning, not cold, just present. Eli felt himself step forward, not into the light, but into the moment. Across the city, something changed. Not magically. Subtly, a man stopped shouting and helped lift debris. A woman dropped stolen goods and walked away. A stranger held a door open during chaos. Small things. Human things. Eli felt himself fading. Vara, he said softly. She held him, her voice shaking. I'm here. Whatever you decide, Eli whispered. Remember this. What? She asked. We're worth the risk. The bag pulsed one final time. Final data locked. The light vanished. Eli collapsed. Vara held him as the room returned to normal. The city noise came back. Life continued. The bag closed. Vara looked down at Eli, unconscious, breathing, human. The judge's eyes filled with something she had not felt in centuries. Hope. And now, the final decision waited only on her. Eli did not wake up right away. He lay on the floor, breathing slowly. His face was calm, like someone who had finally finished a long journey. Vara knelt beside him and checked his pulse. He was alive. The bag stood silent nearby. No light, no sound, no symbols. Its work was finished. Vara stood up. The air changed. She felt it before she saw it. The council was calling. A wide circle of light opened above the bag. Inside it appeared the figures again, tall, distant, made of shadow and light. Their presence pressed against her mind. Judge Vara, the voices said, present your final verdict. Vara closed her eyes for a moment. She looked down at Eli. A single human, not powerful, not famous, just human. She opened her eyes and faced the council. I will speak clearly, Vara said. The figures waited. Humanity is dangerous, she said. They fight. They destroy. They make terrible choices. The council did not disagree. But humanity also chooses kindness, Vara continued. They help strangers. They sacrifice without reward. They act with empathy when no one is watching. The presence grew heavier. Risk remains. One voice said, Yes, Vara replied. Risk will always remain. She raised her hand slightly. The human anchor did not claim perfection, she said. He accepted responsibility. Silence filled the space. Responsibility does not remove threat, the voice replied. No, Vara said, but it creates growth. She took a slow breath. My verdict is this, she said. The room felt frozen. Humanity is not ready to be trusted without limits, Vara said, but they are worthy of time. The bag pulsed once. Soft, clear. I vote to spare Earth, Vara continued, to allow humanity to continue, to observe them not as enemies, but as a developing ally. The council remained silent. Then the voices returned. Verdict acknowledged. Majority consensus reached. Vara's breath caught. Humanity is approved for continuation. Approved. Earth would live. Supervision will begin, the voices said. No interference unless the threshold is crossed. The figures began to fade. One final message reached Vara's mind. Judge Vara, your empathy altered the outcome. The channel closed. The room returned to normal. The bag shut completely. Vara knelt beside Eli again. Eli, she said softly. His eyes opened slowly. Did we lose? He asked. Vara smiled. No, she said. You won. Eli exhaled. Good. He tried to sit up and groaned. That means you're still human, Vara said. Eli looked at the bag. So it's over? The judgment is, she replied. The future is not. Eli nodded. Figures. What happens now? He asked. Now I leave, Vara said. Will you come back? Eli asked. Perhaps, she said, if humanity calls loudly enough. She looked out at the city. People walked. People argued. People helped. People failed. People tried again. No one knew how close they had come to the end. That was the point. You will not be remembered, Vara said quietly. Not by your world. Eli shrugged. I didn't do it to be remembered. She nodded. That is why it mattered. The bag disappeared. Then Vara was gone. Eli sat alone. The next day he returned to work. No one thanked him. No one praised him. No one knew. And far beyond Earth, an ancient record was updated. Species capable of growth. Observe with hope. If you enjoyed this HFY Sci-Fi story, like the video. Subscribe for more human-first sci-fi stories. Comment below and tell us, does humanity truly deserve its future?